The air went absolutely still when my fiance's dad slid the glossy, embossed envelope across the mahogany table. It wasn't a wedding card, no warm wishes, no token gift. It was an invoice, an itemized, meticulously crafted bill demanding $15,000 for what they termed a bride investment fee. My fiancée, Clara, just sat there, her eyes fixed on me, a strange, expectant flicker in their depths. I was supposed to marry her in precisely 3 weeks, but in that horrifying instant, the entire future I'd painstakingly built with her shattered into a million impossible pieces. This was beyond audacious. It was a brazen, calculated act of financial extortion disguised as tradition. The silence stretched, suffocating, as I absorbed the sickening audacity of the demand, feeling the first icy tendrils of fear coil in my gut. I, 31 male, had been with Clara, 29, for 5 blissful years, engaged for 8 months. Our wedding was set for a luxurious resort overlooking the ocean, a dream venue she'd talked about since we met. Her parents, Robert and Alina, had always seemed perfectly normal, if a little formal. This dinner, meant to be our final pre-wedding family celebration, had devolved into a scene straight out of a bizarre reality TV show. My initial reaction was a disbelieving laugh, a genuine, mirthless chuckle that echoed unnervingly in the opulent dining room. "This is a joke, right, Robert?" I asked, looking from him to Alina, then finally to Clara, expecting her to roll her eyes and confirm the prank. But no one laughed, no one even cracked a smile. Robert, a usually jovial man, maintained a stern, unyielding expression. Alina, prim and proper, merely nodded slowly, her gaze unwavering. And Clara, my sweet, loving Clara, who claimed to adore me, shifted uneasily, avoiding my eyes. "It's not a joke, Michael," Robert said, his voice devoid of humor. "This is a traditional fee. An investment, if you will, for the years we've poured into raising Clara, ensuring her refinement and preparing her for a life of comfort. It covers her future maintenance." The words hung in the air, each one a chilling blow to my perception of reality. "Future maintenance?" I repeated, the incredulity battling with a rising tide of anger. "You're asking me to pay you to marry your own daughter for future maintenance? What in the actual hell are you talking about?" My voice, usually calm, was now edged with a dangerous tremor. This wasn't just about money, it was about a deeply disturbing devaluation of their daughter and of me. I looked at Clara again, desperate for her to intervene, to denounce her parents' absurd scheme. Instead, she took a deep breath, her shoulders slumping slightly, and uttered the words that would forever haunt me. "Mom and Dad are right, Michael," Clara said, her voice barely a whisper, yet it struck me with the force of a physical blow. "It's a cultural expectation in some circles. They've sacrificed so much to give me the life I've always known. It's only fair that you acknowledge that investment as you prepare to take on the responsibility of my well-being. It's a testament to your commitment." My jaw literally dropped. The woman I was about to pledge my life to, standing by her parents' side, demanding payment for her existence and future care. It was a betrayal so profound, it stole my breath. "A cultural expectation?" I scoffed, pushing back my chair, the sudden scrape echoing in the shocked silence. "Clara, we live in the 21st century in this country, and my commitment, this isn't commitment, this is a transaction. You want me to buy you." My voice rose with each word, unable to contain the fury bubbling within me. The absurdity of it all was overwhelming. 4 years of loving devotion, countless shared dreams, meticulously planned future, and it all boiled down to a price tag. The sickening realization dawned on me: I was not marrying a person but acquiring a liability. Alina interjected, her tone turning frosty. "Michael, you obviously don't understand the true value of what you're getting. Clara is a lady of impeccable taste and discerning needs. This fee ensures she maintains the lifestyle she's accustomed to. If you're not willing to provide that, perhaps you're not truly worthy of her." Robert nodded approvingly. It was a coordinated attack, a tag team of avarice, and Clara was their star player. The air in the room grew thick with their collective entitlement, a tangible, oppressive weight that threatened to crush me. My beautiful, smart fiancée was nothing more than a pawn in their grotesque game. I stared at Clara, searching for any flicker of the woman I thought I loved, any sign that this was a terrible mistake, a moment of weakness. But her gaze was cold, resolute. "Pay it, Michael, or there's no wedding," she stated, her voice stronger now, laced with a steely resolve that chilled me to the bone. It was an ultimatum, clear and unambiguous. In that moment, the vision of our future, our home, our children, evaporated into thin air. The dream was dead, murdered by a $15,000 invoice and the chilling complicity of the woman I was supposed to marry. My heart, once soaring, plummeted into a deep, dark abyss. A strange calm descended upon me, a chilling clarity cutting through the rage. I slowly rose, pulling out my phone. "You know what, you're absolutely right," I said, a forced smile playing on my lips. "Let me just grab my bank details. I wouldn't want to delay such an important transaction." Robert and Alina exchanged triumphant glances. Clara even offered a small, relieved smile. They believed me, they thought they had won. But what they didn't know was that I wasn't reaching for my banking app. I was reaching for my future, and it no longer included any of them. I walked out of their house, leaving behind their smug victory. I drove home in a daze, the setting sun casting long, ominous shadows. The silence in my car was a stark contrast to the chaos in my mind. The first person I called was my best man, Leo. "Wedding's off," I choked out, the words raw. "Rally the troops, we're going out tonight, consider it a freedom festival." Leo, bless his soul, didn't ask questions, just said, "On my way, brother." The next morning, Monday, a grim resolve settled over me. Operation Escape was officially underway. The first order of business: systematically dismantling every single piece of the wedding puzzle. Update 1, it's Thursday now and the fallout has been spectacular, far exceeding my wildest nightmares. Monday morning began with a flurry of phone calls. The resort venue was the first to go. I managed to get back 80% of our deposit since we were still within the cancellation window. The caterer, the florist, the DJ all cancelled. The bespoke wedding dress, which Clara had gushed over for months, I informed the boutique it was no longer needed and to handle it as they saw fit. My only regret was the custom-designed wedding cake, already paid in full. I instructed them to deliver it to the local children's hospital. Someone deserved a sweet ending, even if it wasn't me. By Monday afternoon, I sent Clara one concise text message. "Regarding your parents' invoice and your ultimatum, I've decided to decline. The wedding is cancelled. Your belongings are packed in boxes and waiting on your parents' porch. Do not contact me again." Then I hit block. My phone went into do not disturb mode for everyone except Leo and my immediate family. According to Leo, who was actively monitoring social media for me since I'd temporarily deactivated mine, Clara posted a cryptic message about unexpected obstacles and staying strong through adversity. The comments were a flurry of sympathetic inquiries. Tuesday morning, the dam broke. I had to go to work, so I cautiously turned my phone back on during my lunch break. The screen lit up with 87 missed calls and 210 texts. Clara's messages ranged from panicked, "Where are you? This isn't funny," to accusatory, "How could you do this without talking to me?" Robert and Alina's messages were even more infuriating. Alina wrote, "Michael, this is incredibly childish. A real man would fulfill his obligations." "You are destroying Clara," Robert chimed in with, "Son, let's discuss this man-to-man. Perhaps we can negotiate the fee, say $10,000. The audacity was breathtaking. Then Tuesday afternoon, Alina showed up at my office. She burst past the receptionist, a vision of designer fury, her voice escalating to a shriek that echoed through the entire floor. She ranted about me owing them money, about destroying her daughter's future, about my cowardice. Security was called immediately. As they escorted her out, she screamed that I was a pathetic excuse for a man who clearly didn't understand the value of a well-bred woman. Half my office watched agog. The humiliation was immense, but so was the grim satisfaction of knowing she was making a fool of herself. That evening, Clara and her sister Monica, 27, descended upon my apartment. I watched them through my Ring camera from Leo's living room, where the boys Leo, Sam, and Noah had gathered with pizza and beer for my freedom party. Clara was sobbing dramatically, banging on my door, while Monica yelled about how I was probably with another woman and this is what guilty men do. The sheer projection was incredible. "Bro, they really tried to charge you a bride fee?" Sam asked, shaking his head for the 5th time. "Itemized and everything," I confirmed. Noah, a law student, just muttered, "That's illegal, right?" Wednesday morning, I received a frantic call from the resort. Clara had contacted them in tears, demanding to uncancel the wedding. They informed her that the cancellation was confirmed, and in a delicious twist of fate, the date had already been rebooked by another couple that very afternoon. Our dream wedding slot, the one Clara had obsessed over for years, was gone forever. Later that day, Leo informed me that Clara had posted a lengthy, rambling rant on social media about unsupportive partners and men who can't handle strong, independent women. The irony was so thick you could cut it with a knife. But the piece de resistance arrived Wednesday night. An official-looking email landed in my inbox, purportedly from Robert and Alina's lawyer. It was filled with legalese about breach of verbal agreement, promissory estoppel, and demanded I either pay the $15,000 fee or reinstate the wedding and compensate them for emotional distress. Noah, after skimming it, burst out laughing. "This is either a fake lawyer or the most incompetent one in the state. This is barely worth the paper it's printed on." Monica then started texting me from various blocked numbers, claiming Clara was having a breakdown and it was all my fault. "Man up and fix this, Michael," one text read. "Mom says you owe us the wedding costs back." Wait, what? They wanted me to reimburse them for the wedding I canceled because they tried to extort me? The audacity had reached cosmic levels. This morning, Thursday, I finally broke my silence. I sent one final group text, including Clara, Robert, and Alina. "To clarify, you demanded a $15,000 bride investment fee to marry Clara. When I refused this bizarre extortion attempt, you issued an ultimatum. I chose to end the relationship rather than submit to such manipulation. All wedding cancellations are complete. Do not contact me again. Any further harassment, including legal threats, will be met with immediate legal action." The responses were instantaneous and predictable. Alina, extortion, how dare you, we raised a perfect daughter. Robert, this is a gross misunderstanding, son, let's talk like adults. Clara, you're really throwing away 5 years over money, my parents were just testing you, it got out of hand, let's meet. Just testing me? I typed back one final message. A test I'm immensely grateful to have failed, goodbye. Then I blocked them all. Tonight, the boys and I are heading to the bar that was supposed to host my bachelor party. We're calling it my Freedom Festival instead. I'm down about $4,000 in deposits, but honestly, it's a cheap price to dodge a lifetime of this bullet. Update 2, it's been a week since my last update and the extinction burst, thanks Reddit for that perfect term, has been nothing short of spectacular. Friday morning, I returned Clara's engagement ring to the jeweler. Got store credit, which was fine. Maybe I'll get myself a nice travel watch when the dust settles. It felt deeply symbolic, a tangible breaking of ties. That afternoon, things escalated. Clara's best friend, Sophia, started blowing up my phone from her number. You're a monster, Clara loved you. Her parents were just being protective. You led her on for 5 years. I just screenshotted everything as Noah had advised. Documentation is key. Saturday morning, Alina went absolutely nuclear on social media, or so Leo reported. Her post, which quickly went viral among our mutual acquaintances, read, "Some men these days just don't understand the value of a high-class woman. They want everything handed to them without investing anything back. My daughter dodged a bullet with a cheap, uncultured boy who couldn't even show proper respect to his future in-laws. $15,000 is nothing compared to what we invested in raising an amazing daughter. His loss." The comments section was a battlefield. While some sympathized, others were incredulous. One brave soul commented, "Sounds like you tried to sell your daughter and got mad he didn't pay." Alina deleted the post within an hour, but screenshots were already circulating like wildfire. My HR department even sent me a polite email, asking me to refrain from workplace gossip after seeing the screenshots. Sunday, exactly 1 week after the invoice incident, Clara did something I genuinely didn't expect. She showed up at my apartment with Robert, no Alina. It was 9:00 a.m. I only answered because I saw on the Ring camera that it was just the two of them. I opened the door a crack but didn't invite them in. Robert spoke first, his face etched with something resembling shame. "Michael, can we talk for 5 minutes, please?" "2 minutes starting now," I replied, my voice flat. Clara looked utterly disheveled, a far cry from her usual polished self. Her eyes were puffy, hair messy, wearing faded sweatpants. "I'm so sorry, Michael," she mumbled, her voice hoarse. "Mom and Dad's idea was insane, I see that now." "You backed them up, Clara," I reminded her, the bitterness sharp in my throat. "You gave me an ultimatum." I know I was wrong, but can we try to fix this? Couples therapy, anything?" she pleaded, her eyes welling up. "Clara, you tried to extort me. It was your parents' idea and you enthusiastically went along with it. You showed me who you truly are. Someone who thinks I should pay to marry you." Robert cut in, "Look, Alina's Alina. She's always been particular about money, but Clara isn't like that, truly." "She literally is, Robert," I countered, the memory of her ultimatum still burning. "She said pay it or no wedding." Clara started to cry openly. "I was under so much pressure. Mom said if you really loved me, you'd pay without question. She said it was a test of your commitment. And if you really loved me, you never would have asked," I retorted, my patience wearing thin. Robert tried again. "What if we just forget the whole invoice thing happened? Can you forget it? Can you also forget that I had over 250 guests invited to a wedding that's now canceled? That I'm out thousands in deposits? That your wife tried to have me arrested for harassment when I wouldn't respond to her texts? Yes, Alina had actually gone to the police Thursday night claiming I was harassing her. They looked at her evidence, my single text saying do not contact me, and reportedly told her very politely to stop wasting their time. That was unfortunate," Robert conceded. "Look," I said, checking my watch. "Your 2 minutes are up. Clara, we're done. There's no coming back from this. You and your parents showed me exactly what my future would look like. Every major decision would come with a price tag, veiled threats, and manipulation. I'm out." As I started to close the door, Clara grabbed my arm, her grip surprisingly strong. "Please, Michael, I love you." "No, you don't," I said, pulling my arm free. "You love the idea of the wedding, the lifestyle I could provide, the image. If you truly loved me, you never would have let your parents hand me that invoice, let alone back them up." I closed the door firmly. They stood outside for another agonizing 10 minutes, Clara's muffled sobs audible through the thick wood before finally leaving. Monday and Tuesday were relatively quiet, a brief reprieve. Then Wednesday hit. I received a call from the resort. Apparently, Alina had shown up in person, demanding they reinstate the wedding, claiming the cancellation was done without proper authorization, and that she was the one who paid the deposit. A blatant lie, of course. They called me to confirm I was the sole person on the contract and the one who made all payments. I sent them the documentation and politely suggested they might want to consider banning her from the premises for future incidents. They readily agreed. But here's the absolutely insane part that happened yesterday, Thursday. Alina sent out save the dates to all the original wedding guests. New save the dates. For a date 3 months from now, same venue, which she doesn't have, same time. Everything, my phone exploded. My mom called, utterly confused, asking if Clara and I had reconciled. My cousins texted asking if I was okay. My grandmother called, worried sick. I had to send out a mass message to clarify. Clara and I are not together. There is no wedding. Any save the dates you received were sent without my knowledge or consent. Please disregard them immediately. The fallout was instantaneous and brutal. Alina had apparently told everyone that we'd worked things out and the wedding was back on. Clara didn't know about it either. She called me, sobbing hysterically, begging me to believe she wasn't involved. My mom lost it, Michael. She's telling everyone you're just being dramatic and you'll come around. Clara, your mom needs help, professional help. I know I'm trying to get her to stop, but she won't listen to me. People are calling me. What do I tell them? The truth, Clara, that your mom is delusional and there is no wedding. Please don't do this to me, she pleaded. I'm not doing anything to you. This is all a direct consequence of your family's actions and frankly your own. I hung up. Robert texted me late last night. I'm handling Alina. Please, Michael, don't take legal action. This has been a massive wake-up call. I texted back, if I receive one more communication from her or if she sends out any more false information about a wedding, I'm getting a restraining order. He replied simply, understood. As of this morning, Friday, it's been radio silence. Clara's social media has gone completely dark. Alina, too. Robert never had any. The boys are taking me out tonight to celebrate what would have been my bachelor party weekend. We're going to the same bar and Leo made us all custom t-shirts that say Freedom Festival 2025 with a picture of a man vaulting over an altar. Tacky? Absolutely. Do I care? Not one bit. My family has been incredibly supportive. My mom said she never liked Alina anyway but kept quiet because I seemed happy. My dad just said, bullet dodged, son, and offered to help me recoup the remaining deposits through small claims court if needed. The resort coordinator actually called me yesterday to warn me that Alina had tried to book the venue under a different name for the date she'd sent out. They recognized her, declined her, and she apparently made quite a scene, requiring security to escort her out again. The entitlement is genuinely terrifying, like she truly believed she could manifest a wedding into existence without the groom's participation. I'm looking into therapy because honestly, 5 years with Clara and I never saw this coming. Were there red flags I missed, or was she just that good at hiding her family's crazy? Either way, I'm free. A few $1,000s poorer but infinitely wiser. The peace of mind is priceless. I'm starting to breathe again, free from the suffocating grasp of their avarice. Final update, it's been 3 weeks since everything went down. I figured I owe you all one last update because the conclusion to this saga is something else. The restraining order became necessary. Despite Robert's promises, Alina escalated. She created a fake social media profile pretending to be me and started messaging vendors trying to reinstate the wedding. She contacted my employer claiming I'd stolen money from her family, the deposits I'd paid and then recouped. She even showed up at my parents' house at 10 p.m. on a Tuesday, demanding they talk sense into me. That was the final, undeniable straw. Noah helped me file for a restraining order. The hearing was last week. Alina showed up in what I can only describe as a full mother-of-the-bride gown, complete with a fascinator hat, to a restraining order hearing. The judge's face was absolutely priceless. She tried to argue that I was the one harassing her by publicly humiliating her daughter and destroying her family's reputation. She actually brought the infamous bride investment fee invoice as evidence of my financial obligation. The judge looked at it, then at Alina and asked, "Ma'am, did you seriously try to charge this man a fee to marry your own daughter?" "It's not unreasonable, Your Honor," Alina insisted, her voice trembling with indignation. "Parents deserve compensation for their investment." The judge, a woman who clearly had seen it all, granted the restraining order. 1 year no contact. Alina called him a small-minded fool and had to be escorted out by bailiffs, still muttering about my lack of respect. Clara wasn't there. According to Robert, who texted me an apology after the hearing, she'd moved back home and was getting intensive counseling. Apparently, this whole situation made her realize how toxic and manipulative her relationship with her mother truly was. Too little too late for us, but at least she's getting help. The most incredible plot twist came yesterday. I got a call from an unknown number, almost didn't answer, but something told me to pick up. It was Alina's sister, my Aunt Carol. "I'm so sorry to bother you, Michael," she said, her voice hushed. "But I wanted to apologize for my sister's behavior and warn you about something." Turns out this was Alina's first rodeo. Carol explained that Alina had pulled similar stunts with Clara's older brother, Daniel, years ago. When Daniel got engaged to his college sweetheart, Alina demanded they sign a family alliance contract, stating they'd pay her a percentage of their joint income annually for family guidance. Daniel's fiancée laughed in her face. They eloped, moved across the country, and went completely no contact. Alina told everyone that Daniel's fiancée had stolen him away and was abusing him by isolating him from his loving family. Clara doesn't even know the real reason Daniel left. Carol said Alina has told Clara for years that Daniel's wife is controlling and manipulative. The irony of it all was staggering, a bitter laugh caught in my throat. Carol also revealed that Robert has been living in complete denial for decades, always making excuses for Alina, always trying to keep the peace, which only enabled her. Their marriage is apparently hanging by a thread now that Clara has seen the truth of her mother's manipulations. I just wanted you to know you made the absolute right choice, Michael, Carol concluded, her voice thick with emotion. And that you weren't crazy. Alina been this way forever. The fact that Clara went along with it, well, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, but at least she's trying to get help now. I thanked Carol profusely for calling and hung up, feeling a complex mix of vindication, sadness, and profound relief. Last night, the boys and I went out for one final Freedom Festival celebration, though it was more of a closure ceremony. Leo raised a toast to dodging bullets and invoices. Sam asked if I regretted anything. Honestly, I regret not seeing the signs sooner. Looking back, there were clear yellow flags. Clara always expected expensive gifts but gave thoughtful, often homemade ones in return. Cute at the time, it now seems unbalanced. She'd make comments about how her mom deserved more from her dad. She'd joke about how I have to pay up when we had kids. I thought they were jokes, little quirks. Noah, my lawyer friend, calculated that between the canceled wedding, the honeymoon I booked 2 weeks in Bali, non-refundable $7,000 down the drain, and various deposits, I lost about $10,500 total. But honestly, worth every single penny to avoid that family. My company's HR has been surprisingly understanding, even commending me for handling Alina's office disruption professionally. My boss actually joked that I should invoice Alina for workplace emotional damages. Don't tempt me, man. As for dating, I'm not even thinking about it right now. This whole experience has me questioning my judgment. How did I not see this coming? How did I spend 5 years with someone capable of this? My therapist, yes, I started going, says it's not uncommon for people to hide their true selves until they feel secure in a relationship, like right before a wedding. Clara probably learned from Alina that this behavior was normal. The invoice was just their mask finally slipping completely. The funniest, saddest part, I found out from a mutual acquaintance that Clara's been telling people I left her because her family didn't have enough money and I was a gold digger. The woman whose mother literally tried to charge me a bride investment fee to marry her is calling *me a gold digger. You truly cannot make this stuff up. Robert sent one last text yesterday. Son, I'm truly sorry about everything. Alina's getting help. Clara, too, we failed as parents. I hope you find happiness. I didn't respond. There's nothing left to say. So that's it. No dramatic reconciliation, no justice beyond the restraining order and my newfound freedom, no epic revenge. Just a quiet ending to what could have been a lifetime of manipulation and fees. I kept the Freedom Festival t-shirt. It's hanging in my closet as a daily reminder. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. And when their parents hand you an invoice for marrying their daughter, run. Thanks for following along with this insanity, Reddit. Your comments and support kept me sane and reminded me I wasn't the crazy one. Time to move forward and live my life free of charge. Oh, and for anyone wondering, the Children's Hospital absolutely loved the wedding cake. The activities director sent me a heartfelt thank you card with pictures of the kids enjoying it. At least something genuinely good came from this mess. If you've ever faced such outrageous demands or escaped a toxic relationship right before the altar, share your story in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more mind-blowing Reddit stories.